Good evening, ladies. Let's
This
try
is
that
exactly
again,
what I was talking about.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is God's sake, Alex. This is the Biscuit podcast, Reduced to Clear Biscuits, episode 8.
Hello.
Yeah. And I'm your host, Shane Hinton, and with me is I'm not even going to say your name anymore, Alex. Is Luke Allen and
special guest DVD of About Time.
Oh.
and Alex Yousefi.
Hello.
I know what I really love, right? I love the fact that if you go back to listen to the first Reduced to Clear, Alex literally never spoke.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't get a
silence.
feel of the room, Shay. I needed to know the boundaries.
He's doing monkey impressions and you can't shut him up.
Yeah,
he's just non-stop, isn't he? He's just
character development.
So this episode was slung together. We're supposed to have I don't know whether we should actually announce it just yet. You've already announced it, haven't you? Yeah, we're supposed to be having Adam Collins on the show this time, but unfortunately he's been tied up, so he's not going to be able to make it. But we're going to get him on.
We have him on a later one. Yeah, he was very willing to jump on amidst busyness, and we were like, "Nah, don't worry about it."
He sounded very flustered, bless him, didn't he?
Yeah. So we said we can talk for toffee. We'll carry on.
Yeah, but we'll just smack record and we'll just carry on. So
we'll just have a little napper.
So you guys, anyway.
It's Shane's birthday tomorrow, by the way. Last week. Well, because they're going to read our names and be like, "What's that about?" Although they're not really. They're going to go, "Oh, it was Shane's birthday." It's not going to be too difficult for them.
Yeah, it doesn't take that much.
It is my birthday tomorrow.
So everybody, carry on.
No, you carry on. Sorry.
No, your birthday boy tomorrow, isn't it?
This is when we turn the tables and we will interview Reduced to Clear star Shane Hinton about his involvement in the film. So, Shane, what drew you towards this project, Reduced to Clear?
What drew me towards it? I saw on Facebook that you were making a film, and I thought that'd be a really good podcast to document, a good film to document with a podcast. I mean, it's been a long day.
That was a record 8 seconds to talk about why you want to get involved in our great production. That's how much we're worth. 8 whole seconds.
Hey, that's a quality 8 seconds, you know.
Hey, we changed our names for your birthday and you gave us 8 seconds. That's awful. That's a second for every episode we've done. I'm going to head back to
the deep hole and just call myself Luke Allen again.
Exactly.
It was not worth the legal hassle.
You think you know some people, guys. Anyway.
No, I genuinely really like this. I love the production. I love the film. I love everything about it. And you guys are awesome as well. You've been on a few podcasts as well. Luke has anyway. You both went on USEC as well, didn't you?
Yeah, we did USEC.
Yeah.
And no,
so
ones that aren't yours.
Yeah, you're cool guys. And it's actually a great, a lot of fun working with you both. So, and actually, it's quite interesting because the Reduced to Clear sort of series of podcasts was just an idea that I had literally because I saw that Luke was making a film, and I thought that could be cool. Slid into Luke's DMs, and I was like, smooth as anything, and I was just like, this could be cool. This could be awesome. And Luke was like, yeah, man. I'm on board with that. That's literally what he said.
A podcast where I get to be involved and not have to do any work? Yes.
Yeah, so good.
All the way, yes. I'm just going to see if I can find the message. So, because you popped me a message. Here we go. Sorry. I'm finding the conversation. Here we go. You said, you opened with, "Hey man, I didn't know you were looking for people to cast. If you need another 6-foot bald guy, then hit me up." And I said, this was the first message you've ever sent me.
That was very smooth.
There was no conversation ever before that. I said, "Hi, thanks. Most of the roles have been filled, unfortunately, but we do have some other big names to announce in the coming months." You said, "Oh, that's exciting. If you would like to come on the Biscuit and talk about it, we can arrange that." And I said, "I can tell you one of them if you don't pass it on." And you said, "Of course, mum's the word." That'd be great. I'll be in touch once our crowd has been sorted. I said, give me a number between 1 and 3.
Oh, I remember this.
So actually, then you said if you need extras or whatever, then let me know. And you said 2. And for some reason, 2 coincided with Nanette Finch, apparently. And I said, okay, so we have Nanette Finch among our cast, who's considered to be the UK's most famous extra/supporting artiste. She's appeared in over 1,000 TV shows and films, including Harry Potter, Downton Abbey, and Les Miserables. Not to forget Reduced to Clear Biscuits episode, whatever it was. Go listen to that.
6.
And you said, wow, well done. And I said, honestly, been a fan of her work for a while, so it was really surreal to have her in a cast. Massive fan of Ricky Gervais' show Derek, which I'm sure she plays one of the main supporting roles. You said, I know her, fair play. And I said, and I said, as a fan of her work or personally? And you said, dude, it'd be awesome to have the Biscuit be involved with your filmmaking, follow your progress, interview the actors, etc., speak to you all as a unit, etc. Unlimited rice pudding. That's a reference that I hope Alex got, but probably not.
I do.
You do. Good.
Except, yeah.
All the classic Doctor Who fans are smiling and nodding. Then you said, I recognise her from a few of the films. As soon as I saw her face, I was like, I've seen her before. I reckon it'd be a great series of podcasts to accompany the film, you know? And I said, yeah, that sounds great. We were chatting with you and about our plans for press and promotion, etc. We'll be kicking it all off soon as the crowdfund starts in a couple of weeks. I said, yeah, then that sounds brilliant, thanks. I'll pass it on to my co-writer-director. And you said, awesome. If and when you're ready to go ahead, hit me up and I'll throw a group together with Al and your guy, and we'll chat about it. This is exciting. And again, seriously, well done. I said last time we spoke, you'll be going places. Bud, keep it up. And then I just, for some reason, decided to tell you the rest of the cast.
You spilled everything to me.
The random, like, number one. And then went, since we're talking about this, I might as well tell you the other cast. Simon Fisher-Becker. And you said, haha, okay, it's fine with me. I won't tell anyone. And Alex McQueen.
Right, is that I genuinely do have a face where people tell me things. I don't know why, right? But they just do. When they tell me the most obscure, personal, like, people tell me their secrets, dude, all the time. And it's, I don't know why. It must have one of those faces. I'm not sure.
You even know him, and this was over text. He hadn't even seen your damn face. Oh God!
I must have had you on Facebook from when I did the Biscuit a while ago, right? Like I assume we probably spoke. There's probably a reason why you're on my Facebook.
Yeah.
I don't need friend requests to get onto people's Facebooks.
Right. Okay. All right. And then what happened? That's the end of the conversation?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And then the rest is history.
Yeah, exactly.
It's history.
But no, it's been good fun, and I don't know what to say. It's like it was the end. We got Adam Collins on next week.
It's been good fun, guys. I'll miss you.
Listen to this. This is the end. I know this episode isn't necessarily the archetypal kind of stereotypical Reduced to Clear Biscuits episode, because it's just me, us three just rattling on, just chin wagging. So,
how much work would it take for Al to make this episode a clip show where we just talk about our favorite moments thus far, and then he plays like little clips?
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Considering I now do the.
It's you now, isn't it?
Yeah.
How much work is that for you?
Because I ain't doing it.
Yeah. No.
I've edited one episode. 2 episodes so far.
2?
No, one episode.
Oh my gosh, Shane, make up your mind. So,
and he forgot to make any promo artwork for it. So,
yeah.
You're ragging on Shane.
That's something that didn't even cross my mind, like, because normally Al does all of the image work, so it's just something that I didn't even cross my mind. And he's always said, "Oh, you can do the editing." He's never said anything about doing the artwork. It just didn't even come into my psyche.
Well, let's make it really easy, and we'll all strike a pose now, and you can screenshot it, and that'll be our artwork.
Yeah, is that what's easy for you, Shane?
I don't know.
Not doing any artwork.
Are you skipping out on artwork again?
No. I'll think of something. It's fine.
Figure something out. All right.
Yeah. It's cool.
Well, that's good. We're 10 minutes in and we've run out of things to say.
I'll pop a little call out. If anyone listening owns a crash mat, let us know. Please.
Yeah.
Please. We can't talk about the scene in which requires a crash mat because spoilers on that. But we need a crash mat. And they're a little hard to come by.
Yeah, but they're not the easiest things to get. So yeah, if anyone has a crash mat, just email us. What's that email, Luke?
I'm Luke at lukeallen.co.uk.
You're not supposed to do that bit yet.
It's the middle film.
Oh yeah, that's the end.
That's the end. Why are we talking like this is the end?
No. Okay, if you've got a crash mat, listen to the rest of the episode, and then with our plugs, contact us through those details. That would make our day if you helped us out there. Because I'm just trying to fill up the word count here, guys. Can somebody jump in, cut me off, help me?
Guys, obviously it's been amazing. It's been amazing weather, hasn't it, recently in Shrewsbury? It's been unbelievable.
I am like this close to becoming ginger dust.
I was going to say, you must be struggling really bad.
Yeah, it's
like,
nice.
really bad.
Ooh, can I go on a tiny rant real quick? Yeah. So why do buses, why did they have the little exhaust pipe things next to your legs if you're sitting by the window? And in the summer, they're really, really hot. So like, why? That makes no sense. Because in the winter, you're like, okay, I want to be warm on this bus, so make the heaty things warm. But then like in the summer, I want to be cold. But they don't do that. They make the heat.
Shane, do you have any idea what these heaty things, little exhaust pipes?
Do you have? Do you know, Luke?
No.
All right, okay, I'll explain. So say you're sitting on the bus.
Is it just a very specific bus?
No, it's loads of them. So you're sat on the bus, right? And there's two seats. Say you're just on the far left and you're touching the window pretty much. Down by your feet, there's these little ventilation-looking things, and they are absolutely roasting in the summer. So I don't know what it is.
I've never had any issue with them, and I always sit by the window.
Well, really?
Well, now we know what our improv's going to be.
You have to go. Listen, listeners, you have to let me know if any of you also have this issue with it being boiling in the summer,
and if you have crash mats.
And if you have crash mats, but this is more interesting. And then, I can't believe you guys didn't what? Come on, guys, play ball. Never.
No.
I'll
to be honest about it, the last time I was on a bus was probably about 2000 and
a long time ago.
5, 6.
Right, so if you said that earlier...
Weird flex.
If you said that earlier, then I would have gone, oh, Shane's not had it because he just doesn't go on buses. But instead you sat there and watched me have a mental breakdown like a weirdo, not knowing why you guys haven't had that. So,
yeah, but I'm on the bus every day for like about 3 hours.
Yeah, but if you're on the lookout for it, you'll spot it, trust me.
So when you first went on a bus, you were on a lookout for, I wonder if there's a heaty exhaust pipe.
Thingy. I mean, but now that you know, you're going to have a look. Because people who are listening, I'm not the only one.
What I get.
So you mean when I get on the bus tomorrow, I am perfectly valid to just like start looking down under the seats and just really confusing everyone.
You don't have to crouch down like a weirdo. You can just look, like there'll be heaty pipe things.
I'm sorry, I'm the weirdo. You're the one who's got a problem with bus pipes.
Is that the proper terminology?
I don't know the proper terminology. They're just super hot.
Hit it with Google. Bus heat pipe.
Heaty pipey things.
Problems.
One thing that annoys me on the bus, right, is why do they seem to have some form of phobia against opening the windows?
Yeah, I guess that, but they don't have a problem with it in the winter. They love it in the winter.
They have the windows open all the time because of COVID at the moment.
Yeah. The one I was on today definitely didn't know, Luke, because I looked for them.
Like, why don't they do like proper windows like in buses? Like they got those little tiny like slats at the top.
Did you just say why don't buses do normal windows like buses? Was that genuinely your comparison you just made? Why aren't buses like buses?
Luke, I'm sending a...
I mean, why don't they have proper windows like cars and stuff, or like wagons?
So like that could be dangerous for kiddies. I'm sending you a picture, Luke, of what I've circled. That is it. I've just found what I'm talking about. It's only a diagram, but yeah, there you go. Have that. The heaty diagram.
They exist. You're talking about the Konvetor and Schweichenheiser.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
those.
that. Why did you just say so, Alex?
Sorry, guys. Caught lacking, didn't know the term. Ugh, anyway,
Shane, I'm gonna send this over to you on Facebook so you can pop the diagram up for all to see.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you put pressure on me now because I'm going to have to work out how to do it.
It's all right. It's all right. It's a very laid back podcast, as you always tell us.
Good job, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we will threaten the integrity of the podcast while you wait by singing copyrighted music.
Oh.
Yeah.
When do you... Wait, hold on. No, it doesn't matter. I was just trying to ask you a question to make you stop singing. But I can't do anything about the questions.
Come on, Alex, hit me with the Doctor Who theme.
No, never.
You know it.
I'm not doing anything for you.
So this is the...
So, guys, news announcement. I am dropping out of Reduced to Clear. This is going to be a project.
So this is the diagram that Alex was on about. In the red circle is the Convectorian and Sighted One Tower.
Damn, I love that circle. That's so round and a good circle.
So this bit... Yeah,
that bit. Yeah, if you're sat on the bus, right, I feel like that sticks out and it hurts because it's really hot.
I always sit at the very, very front, so I think I just miss it.
Who sits at the very front unless you have to?
I don't know. I just do it.
Because listen, right, bus methodology, right? If you just want to get off your bus because you've had a really long, boring day, you want to sit at the front so you don't have to stroll past everybody doing the monkey bars. You want to just get out.
Oh yeah, but if you're waiting to get to the station, it's also slightly unfortunate because, when you're at the front, I think it's more courtesy to stand and wait for everyone to come past first than to just...
I always sit at the back. I'm a rebel.
Really?
Yeah, but to be fair, last time you were on a bus, you were like...
I kind of agree. I wait until... Oh, what's it called? I always take the first row of seats where it says, it says if there's somebody who needs the seat, let them have it.
Yeah.
Right? I always take the one behind that.
Oh,
I take the one back from that.
You take the seat from old people. And
I'm evil. Twist my words like that.
I do, but I offer it up if anyone comes on. But I'm on a student bus most of the time, so.
Right. Yeah, I'm not on those.
There aren't many old age sixth form students.
Really?
No.
Are you sure about that?
Surprising.
But Shane, just to make you feel really old the day before your birthday, last time you were on a bus, we were between the ages of 1 and 2.
Oh my god.
Amazing.
Oh my god.
Christopher Eccleston was the Doctor. YouTube had just started. Hit me with another 2005 fact, Alex. I know you know him.
You know what's even worse, right? I started driving in 2008.
Really?
Yeah.
What were those 2 years? What were you doing in 2006 and 2007 if you were on the bus in 2005?
That can't be right, actually. Hold on. No, it is right. It is right. Yeah, because I've been driving about 10, 12 years.
Heat's gone to your bald head, mate. You can't think straight.
And I started driving at 17. So, yeah, that's right, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
If you, listening, were Shane's driving instructor, let us know.
My driving instructor, right, was like the Don. He was the best ever, right? He hit me once. He genuinely hit me on a lesson because I started flapping. I was getting really frustrated and upset because I stalled on a hill start. It's by the Samaritans, it was. And I started getting really, really annoyed and really frustrated. And he literally smacked me around the back of the head. And he
really?
Back in. And I was like, did you just hit me?
And that is why Shane is now bald.
Yeah. What's it called? I'm just saying, right? Driving seems really easy, but I'm imagining as soon as you actually go to do it, it is a pain because
I got my first lesson in 2 weeks.
Have you?
Yeah.
I have. It was going to be in 1 week, but I've got both mock exams and a pretty exciting podcast.
I heard that apparently you have to you learn how to use a sat nav for your test.
I think so. Yeah.
I was like,
Really?
what? Yeah, that wasn't.
I think you have a sat nav and like your test is like following the planned route. I believe.
I don't know. I was just like, what? Like when I did my test, it was maps. I had to learn how to use a map. Like
Really?
I already knew how to use a map because I was a scout. I have you know, I was a scout.
You're a scout.
Yeah.
Oh, stop with the salute, Dave. You're not cool anymore. Like
I used to know the
That's another 10 minutes
on my
gone by,
honour,
guys.
on my honour, I promise to do my best, to do my duty to God and to the Queen, to help other people and to keep the Cub Scout law. Boom!
Whoa! He remembered it. That's go. And he didn't even fumble. You did that clean. Came straight out. So, well, gosh, I don't want to ask how long were you in the Scouts. I'm not that that's a boring question, but like that's like a question that you know. That's just a question, isn't it? That's just a monotonous one.
It is.
What are you googling, Luke?
I'm not. I'm just randomly checking Facebook. Apparently, today is 1 year. Apparently, today is 1 year since my school got noticed by Elton John.
Your school?
Wait, how do you not know this story? Flipping heck. Okay,
nah, man. I'm tapping out.
I was doing the podcast 2 Minutes About Time, and one of our guests was a guy called Ron Sexsmith, who was a Canadian singer-songwriter who's like, I'm a massive fan of his music. And we had him on the show, and I was chatting with him afterwards, and I was like, so, you know, just talking about music and stuff. And I was like, you know, my school's doing like some lockdown videos because it was over lockdown. They did a cover of I'm Still Standing. And so I sent it over to Ron, and next thing I know, he sent a message, just sent it over to Elton. He loves it. Have you got an email address for the school? And I was just like, what? And then there were like loads of news articles and stuff like everywhere, all about like it was in like Rolling Stone, it was in NME, it was in Billboard, like all about this school getting noticed by Elton John. It was pretty cool. None of them mentioned me or the podcast, but you know, I knew. Yeah. I'm gonna since we're filling time here, Shane. I'm gonna send you the video because Elton John sent a video message to the school.
Did he?
And he invited us all next time he comes to do a gig in the UK, where we get to all be his guests.
That's pretty cool.
Here we go. YouTube clip in the chat.
Oh, you made me do it again.
This is in like I
can't cope with this
StreamYard chat.
Yeah, I like how it used to be some lovely place before, but now you're running this gap. It's like a shanty town. Like you just don't want to do anything.
Me?
But yeah, you're like, now I've got to put a video on the screen. Oh, come on.
It's because I don't know how to do it, Alex. If I'm honest, like, I'm still a novice. I'm learning this as I go. Like,
and there it is. Oh well.
I'm completely. So yeah. I apologise, ladies and gentlemen, who's listening. It's not deliberate. I know this episode is very clunky. But they keep throwing things at me and making me download stuff and then re-upload them to different bits, and I'm trying to do that on the fly. I'm not used to it. I can't do two things at once. So
I will dial back. That was all just revenge from taking the mick out of Firefox for like most of the podcast last
Well, that's
week.
your fault for using Firefox.
It's not okay, Shane. Do we want to take it there? Are we going to carry on with these shenanigans? Or
I'm pretty sure I used Firefox when I was using buses.
Yeah, all right. Dracula was also alive when you were riding buses, Shane. Leave us alone, man. Leave me alone.
Oh, meow.
Yeah. Alex is sassy today, guys. That's the sort of mood I'm in. It's the heat. I'm sorry, Shane.
The heat from the bus, innit? It's just got too bad. So what else you guys been up to? You've been enjoying the weather? You've been to the coast, or
I went to the cinema yesterday and saw the saddest film I've ever seen in my life.
What was it?
The Father with Anthony Hopkins and Olivia Colman. Like, I knew it was going to be sad, but flipping heck, I don't think I've cried as much at anything. And I came out of it thinking, I really wish I hadn't gone on my own, because now I just have to walk back home halfway.
Just crying.
So, I mean, are either of you aware of The Father as a first film?
I'm aware of my father. Like, I am, but not.
So, Anthony
I am
Hopkins,
a father as well.
And Anthony Hopkins plays an old guy who's got dementia, and Olivia Colman plays his daughter. but you're watching the film from like his perspective, and so you're in his flat, but then slowly things seem to start slightly changing, and suddenly he's in someone else's house, but he thinks it's his house. He doesn't know where things are. Like the actors playing his kids like change, and it's like he doesn't recognize his own family, and you're just seeing like the slow mental decline of a guy with dementia, and like, oh my goodness, it is so upsetting. And spoilers here, by the way, so if anyone is planning on watch it, skip ahead about 20 seconds. It like one of the last scenes is him like in a nursing home, scared and wondering where his mum is, and it is one of the best made films I've ever seen, but also
I'll be honest, I don't think I've seen anything with Anthony Hopkins in that I don't like.
Well, talk about Silence of the Lambs, right? He's the memorable part of Silence of the Lambs. He's in it for 12 minutes.
My guest on the show, all right? Because
yeah, he's in Silence of the Lambs for 12 minutes.
Did you hear that?
I did. I didn't see that, but I heard the voice of Elton John. Sir Elton John, sorry.
Okay. I don't know. I can't put it on the actual...
It's all right.
Anyway, carry on. Come on talking.
That was it. The Father. It's a great movie. I think Anthony Hopkins made like Oscar history by being like the oldest person to win Best Leading Actor or something. But cool. It's a very, very good movie. So I recommend that to anyone. And I'm probably next week going to go and see something a bit happier, like In the Heights, maybe.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I'll be honest with you though, like I haven't been to the cinema for ages. Last time I went, I was so disappointed. Like,
what did you see?
I can't remember now. It wasn't the film. The film was brilliant. It was the experience of Cineworld. I find Cineworld.
Odeon.
I like Odeon more.
Well, I'm not in Telford, am I? Like, I've only.
Do they not have one? Do they not? No. Oh, they do have one issue.
We have
an Odeon.
We have Odeon Lux, where like you got the little adjust things, and you can adjust your seat to like lean back or lean
back. I've never been to a cinema like that. I've never been to one. Like, I've only ever been to Cineworld, cool. Which is why now I just don't like cinemas really. Just don't
True. You should go.
Not only that, right? Have you ever been in a Cineworld?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like you get the seats are like rubbish. Imagine being like one and having to wedge yourself in those seats for an hour and a half.
Now, I can't imagine that because I've not been to like anything that isn't Odeon Lux in ages. So it's like, it's hard to remember that, but I just like, I know this is, I don't want to change the topic because it's still cinema related, but like talking about the last film I saw at the cinema, it's actually a cool one. I saw Halloween 1980 something. I don't remember. I saw that at the cinema on Halloween Eve. How cool is that? Right?
Pretty cool.
Like, yeah, at the cinema with the sofas that move but like backwards and forth. They're so good, Shane. What's your favourite cinema?
Can I just tell you, Shane, we're both missing the re-release of Scott Pilgrim versus the World for this.
Oh yeah, we are. I'm not.
Am I supposed to feel guilty?
Apparently, Edgar Wright's been turning up to some of the screenings and just surprising people.
I thought, like, damn, there's a chance he could be there.
If we find out Edgar Wright has just turned it up, who, by the way, is Alex's main influence for the directing style of Producer Clear. Like, if we find out that, then Shane, we drop out the podcast.
It's not Shane's fault, to be fair.
No, it's not at all.
It's usually my fault, if I'm honest. Alex is
stop beating yourself up, man. It's your birthday tomorrow.
I don't know why. For Shane's birthday special, we've both been just extra mean to Shane today.
It's all right. I'm used to it.
You had it coming from me, but I expected better from you. Damn, Luke.
So, what's your favourite Anthony Hopkins movie then?
This one that I just saw, The Father, probably. But I really like Silence of the Lambs.
Okay. What about you, Alex?
Apparently, he was in Thor Ragnarok, was he?
Yeah, he was.
Thor Ragnarok then, because I haven't.
Do you not know who he is in Thor?
I haven't.
Are you joking?
Time. He's. Oh, I just found out. That's kind of cool. He's Odin.
Oh my god.
So I haven't seen that film in 4 years. In my defense, in fact, I've not actually seen that many of these films. I've seen Silence of the Lambs, but like that. I don't even like it that much.
I've never been so disappointed in somebody in my life.
Can you kick Alex for not liking Silence of the Lambs?
Why should I? Because it's a cool classic. Is that it?
It's just cinema.
Boring cinema.
I think my favourite Anthony Hopkins movie is got to be World's Fastest Indian.
Of course, you mentioned this on the Edward Tidy episode. Yeah, it was when I was talking about Paddington 2 and you tried to change the conversation.
Which lost its crown.
Yeah, honestly, I know it's lost its crown.
Have you seen it? World's Fastest Indian. You need to watch it. If you like The Father, you'll like World's Fastest Indian.
I like how you're saying that, despite the fact that you've not seen The Father, but just for the concept of Anthony Hopkins.
You'll find I've actually not even seen out of the wide range of cinema. I've not even seen that many films compared to anyone here. So there's a lot of stuff I need to watch. If you name 5 films, I bet I've actually seen one of them.
Let's do this.
You've not seen Rambo?
No, carry on.
Predator.
In fact, can we hit each other maybe with off the top of our heads each of our top 5 films and see how many everyone else has seen?
I have to get a list up for that because I can't think of them off the top of my head.
Well, I've got my top 4 on Letterboxd, so I've just got to come up with another one. Shane, are you on Letterboxd?
No.
Get on Letterboxd.
What's Letterboxd?
It's an app where you log every film you watch and you give them ratings, and then you add your friends on there and you can see what films they like and they can see what you've watched recently. And I've been using it for 2 years, so it means if I'm chatting with someone and they're say Silence of the Lambs, for example, and they're like, "Oh, you saw Silence of the Lambs?" I could be like, "Yes, I last saw it on July 20th, 2020 or something," and then I can start writing.
He's not convinced. You just did you explained it, but you explained it in the most wordy, dirty way. You could just say you just list. You make lists and you rate stuff that you watch. It's so simple.
Sound.
I love it so much. It's my favorite social media.
So my top 5 are Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, Spider-Man to the Spider-Verse, Hunt for the Wilder People, and Whiplash. Those are my top 5.
I've seen the first 2, and the last 2 are on my watch list.
Last 3. Oh no, on your watch list. Okay, fair.
Yeah,
I was going to say.
Yeah.
All right, Luke, your turn.
So About Time at number 1. Alex, I know you've seen it. Shane, have you seen About Time?
No, I haven't seen About Time.
Watch About Time, Shane. Then it's The Girl in the Cafe. Which is a lovely movie.
Are they all just rom-coms?
No. Then it's World's Greatest Dad, which is a Robin Williams movie about his son dies in a sexual accident. I can't really say anything more than that because it's a PG show. And he finds his son's body, but it's I can't go about telling everyone that this is how he died. So he fakes a suicide note for his son. And he's also a struggling author, and he ends up publishing the fake diaries of his dead son and becoming a bestseller. But all the while, it's building up on his mental state. It's a very, very dark comedy, and it's so great. Then it's Paddington 2, and then Ex Machina. Have you seen Ex Machina?
No.
I have, yeah.
Do you agree it's good? Or
I agree it's good, and I haven't seen it in a while. I think I can imagine it being a top 5 worthy film, yeah. But it's just not for me. You like stuff that's got a main romantic thing in it, but that's just not me. I know Shaun is my favorite movie, and that's got a romantic thing in it, but it's not pushed fully like everything else.
Yeah, I mean, 2.5 of my top 5 aren't romantic. But I know what you mean. I say 2.5 because Ex Machina kind of is, but also
it is. It really.
But also it's about breaking that, and it's about using that to be manipulative, and it's about what it really means to be human.
Yeah, but it is one of
the idea
main
that
themes,
you could,
though, isn't it?
Not really. From an outside perspective, sure. As someone who literally has to study it as a text for A-level film, it's not really about that at all. But it's there's a whole thing in that. I mean, Shane, are you aware of Ex Machina as a film?
No.
So it's about this. It's about this robot and this guy who goes in to test this robot, but he ends up falling in love with her, and she kind of starts manipulating him. And it's about how intelligent she is as AI. They say you could teach a computer to play chess, but does the computer know it's playing chess? And it's kind of about that, and it's very deep film about what it means to be human, but also just a fun sci-fi movie with Donald Gleason, who is also the star of About Time, in a very different role. It's he's almost unrecognizable. But it's like in my film class, our teacher was like, everyone, what's your favorite film starring Donald Gleason? And she was like, I know what one of you is going to say. I was like, yeah, yes, you do. Yes, you do. But yeah, Shane, hit us with your top 5.
In no particular order. I think it's got to be obviously World's Fastest Indian.
Yeah.
Which is a beautiful film about it's actually based on true story. So it's about the record holder of the land speed record on a certain size motorbike. And he literally built it from scratch. He dedicated his entire life to engineering this bike, an Indian, to break records. And he ends up going on this journey because he wants to go to the Bonneville Salt Flats to race, but obviously he's out of time. He's out of date, so it's all gone online, and you have to register online and stuff. And he doesn't know what that means and things like that. It's about his journey doing it and stuff, and his actual race and things like that. So there's that. So it's World's Fastest Indian. I like one of my other favorites is Last of the Mohicans, which is Daniel Day-Lewis.
So that's 2 for 2 I've not seen.
That's another amazing film. Con Air.
Oh, Con Air, yeah.
I love Con Air.
So on board with that.
Brilliant.
John Malkovich is one of this country, well, not this country, one of this generation's greatest talents.
For sure.
John Malkovich is great. Have you seen Being John Malkovich?
No.
Being John.
And to
you
be honest,
go and watch Being John Malkovich.
The last two is kind of like sort of collections of films, because I like there's a series of films called The Sniper, or just Sniper it's called, and I think there's about 5 now, different films. I love all them because I'm massively into my snipers and that kind of stuff. When I play online shooting games, I'm always a sniper. And I think the last one has got to be a flat out joint tie between Expendables and MCU.
Okay. Just all of the MCU.
Yeah, all of the MCU, all of them.
I've seen 2 films of the MCU.
What?
I've seen the MCU stuff, so I'm willing.
I know I need to. Let me think. I've seen Deadpool. I've seen both Guardians of the Galaxy films, and
the general consensus when it comes to films is underdogs. I love an underdog, and I love a true story.
Yeah,
Slumdog Millionaire, Shane.
I've not actually seen it.
Okay,
I've not actually seen it.
Have you seen War Dogs? With
that actually rings a bell. I might have actually seen that.
Jonah Hill, isn't it? Yeah.
And it's
haven't seen it.
Firearm dealing.
Have you seen The Old Guard?
No, but I've seen bits of it, just like I've seen bits of Con Air, just like I've seen bits of The Shining.
That's a hell of a film that is. You gotta watch that. Yeah, that's a good film that is.
Can I go back to Being John Malkovich? First of all, because the week this comes out, I'm a recurring guest on the Malkovich Minute, which is a minute-by-minute breakdown of Being John Malkovich. And are either of you aware of the actual premise of Being John Malkovich as a film?
Yeah, you mentioned it a lot, yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Shane? You aware of the premise of Being John Malkovich as a movie?
No.
So it's this guy, and it's played really seriously, despite how stupid a theme it is. It's this guy who's a puppeteer, and he's a struggling puppeteer, and he can't get a job. So then he finds this job working in a filing company, and he just finds this door behind his desk, and he opens it, and it leads to inside the brain of John Malkovich, where you see the world through John Malkovich's eyes for 15 minutes, and then you get thrown out into the middle of the motorway. and so they slowly start selling tickets to people to be John Malkovich for 15 minutes, but then someone ends up falling in love with someone, but only when they're inside the body of John Malkovich. It's so and then there's a great scene where Malkovich goes inside his own brain, and he ends up in a world where everyone is John Malkovich, and the only words they can say is Malkovich. It's so stupidly insane. John Cusack, Cameron Diaz, John Malkovich. It is an insanely incredible movie that you'll either love or hate because it's played so seriously and so straight faced. It feels like it's aesthetically a really dark drama, but also it's John Malkovich's brain. Yeah. And Malkovich didn't want to do the movie. They sent him a script. He was like, I like this, but I really don't want to do this movie. And they were like, we'll only do it if you do it, if you're in it. And eventually he agreed. He wanted to direct it and make it about someone else, but there's really no one else like John Malkovich. That
No,
they were like,
no, for sure.
Because he's just that level of like known face, but not that well-known actor. Like there's a recurring thing where like people sit in, because obviously it's Malkovich playing himself. People like go up to him in the film and are like, hey, you're that guy from that movie. And that's like all they'll say. Or like, I liked you in that movie when you were a jewel robber or something, a jewel thief. And the recurring thing is that John Malkovich was never in a movie where he played a jewel thief. But that's just a recurring joke. Oh, it's such a great movie. And so check out Being John Malkovich and then listen to Malkovich Minute, wherein this week at time of listening, so next week at time of recording, the special guests on that show for all this episode every day, Monday through Friday. The guests are both myself and Ellen Asprey, who is my co-host for the Love Rosie podcast and one of the art directors for Reduced to Clear.
Awesome. I love how you segued that straight back into Reduced to Clear. Yeah. That was pretty good. I'm impressed with that. On that note, are we doing an improv then or what?
Sure.
Okay, so
can we do a Being John Malkovich inside the brain of Alex Yousefi?
No. I think we should do Being John Malkovich on a bus where he realizes that there's a really hot vent and a really hot day on a bus.
You know, we've got to make this good, right? You can, like, come on. How are we going to do
Alex,
that?
Have you heard the rest of the podcast? When we don't make this good.
This podcast's in the bin. Like it's in the sea. It's so much in the sea. It's
this is just filler. This is just so.
I was going to say this is the filler episode.
This is what happens when guests don't turn up. Like we could have either knocked it on the head or we just sit and just chat.
That would have been the very, very logical move, wouldn't it? Have gone. Probably. Our guests can't make it. Let's just do it next time.
Let's just postpone it, which is fine. But what we did instead is we were just like, you know what, let's just press record and
to be fair, people who want to know more about us, this is a good one, because we have done a bit of like insight. My hatred of some bust stuff, Luke's obsession with romance films and John Malkovich and Shane's, I don't want to say mental breakdown, but you've definitely been on the decline this episode. You started smiling and now you're like, I don't know what that is, but you're not smiling, man.
I feel very, very like emotionally upset for Shane. Like I look upon it, and I'm like, oh, poor bloke.
You feel sorry for me. Should I have like a little sign up saying like, sponsor me?
1 minute silence.
£3 a month.
Yeah, let's just all be silent for let's call it 20 seconds. Just 20 everyone who's listening, just has a moment of sorrow for Shane. 30-year-old Shane.
I got away with actually not telling my age so far, and you just like knackered it up.
I was making an effort not to just like draw attention to the number, and then Luke just goes, and the poor little 30-year-old Shane.
I don't know what man I've become today. But I think I like him
today. He is savage. I'm surprised he has to just start saying heckin' like on loop.
We didn't even get the 20-second silence, I don't think. So
no,
you don't even
I don't even deserve that anymore.
No, it doesn't. That ship has sailed. Like it is out the window.
Right, okay, so come on. John Malkovich then on a bus who's just found the hot pipey heaty thing.
What?
Alex,
how?
Go.
No. I'm absolutely fine with you just throwing stuff at me normally, but not this.
Okay, so Shane is the most bus driver person I've ever met. So Shane is definitely the bus driver. I don't know why that's a thing, but as soon as you came up with the premise of bus, I was like, Shane's the bus driver.
Yeah, that's Shane. Shane's that bus driver.
Is it because I've been driving for like a million years?
So and Alex, you are John Malkovich on the bus, and I am inside your brain.
So how is this?
So you're saying stuff, and I'm the You're saying stuff, and I'm the voice of your conscience.
So okay. I've got to play this very normal, very straight face, and you're just going to crazy it up.
Yeah, you're John Malkovich.
Okay.
But the fact that you're John Malkovich is almost irrelevant to this sketch.
I'm now driving the bus.
All right. Hey, it's quite hot. Do you mind?
What's this blooming thing? Heck this bus.
Hello.
Heck this hecking heat.
Hello.
I can't think straight. Hello, Mr. Bus Driver.
Hello.
Stupid.
What's your name? What's your name?
Shane.
What a silly name.
Shut up, voice. Shane, it is quite hot. I'm not sure if you've noticed, but there's big noise, sunlight, radio waves out there, and it's
quite hot. It's heckin' burning.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, okay. I don't know how this is gonna go, Shane. Shane. Your name, it's making me insane. Oh, it's so hot in here. And
just tell him about the problem with the Konvektoren und Schweigenheiser.
Okay, Shane, you're not gonna believe this, but the Konvektoren und Scheisenweiser is pretty. It is going mental, and considering it's hot and you have multiple windows, I don't understand. I'm the only one on the bus. Can you just turn it down or off?
Look, I can see that button right there that says Konvektoren und Schweigenheiser.
For me to actually be able to turn that off, you have to actually buy the VIP bus ticket, which is actually
heck is VIP bus ticket.
How much does that cost?
£500.
For how much?
Leave. Get off the bus.
No,
£500.
Who are you talking to?
I didn't tell you to leave.
Shut up. How long does this ticket last? Oh no!
Lifetime.
Right. Sorry, wasn't talking to you. Someone else. Anyway,
you're the only person
on
the bus.
Why are you hitting yourself?
There's some. You're not going to believe this. There's someone in my head, and he doesn't shut up. I don't know.
Are you okay? Do you need an adult?
In, out, shake it all about. Do the hokey cokey.
You okay?
Okay, I'm leaving. I don't want this bus. And then
hokey
what are we? Oh, okay, we're getting out of this.
Simon says hokey cokey.
I'm
not doing it.
This is interesting.
Turn the heat up. You're going to turn the heat up. Is that supposed to be funny?
Yeah.
After all I've come to you with, after the issue I've come to you with, you're going to turn the heat up.
Yeah.
Do you see that sign in front of you that says "No abuse the bus driver"?
I'm going to turn the.
Don't go abusing the bus driver like this.
No,
don't go telling him he's got a stupid name and a silly hat.
What? Which sign?
What? Whoa! We need to cut it here. I never said a silly hat. I never brought up his hat.
What are you talking about?
I like his hat.
You thought a silly hat. You thought it. You were thinking it. I know you.
That was very out of character voice. This hat is very nice. That's the only thing I do like.
I never heard John Malkovich talk like this, by the way.
Yeah. I don't know what he sounds like.
Luke will have to tell you what it sounds like.
I'm gonna have.
He's kind of very, very calm. And
I'm gonna have a bit of a mental.
Hey everyone, I'm John Malkovich. Welcome to the bus. That was a terrible John Malkovich impression. I'll see myself out.
I'm sorry, Mr. Shane, whatever. I'm gonna have to get off this bus. I can't think straight, and it is really hot.
But there are no doors in this bus.
There is a door. Here you go. I'll press the button.
Oh, all right.
There you go. The door's open.
I like how me saying there was no doors was a step too far for this.
That was really anticlimactic.
The sketch is still happening.
Where to next, voice?
Onwards and upwards, my lad.
Soon may the weatherman come to bring me tea and rum.
We'll wander off while singing "I'm on my way" by the Proclaimers. Come on, I'm on my way from misery to happiness today.
I hate this song.
Okay.
So someone hit with the other aha. Come on.
Right.
No.
Cut.
Yeah, cut.
Luke didn't leave, Luke. So,
1 sec.
I think we're getting to that time of day now. Is Alex gone? Wait, no, he's back.
No, I'm back. Yeah, that was awful, even for us.
I know that was rubbish. I'm so sorry about this episode, ladies people. I don't even know if I'm going to release it. Should I even release it? I'm going to release it.
I think this could be a lost episode. It's up to you. This could be a DVD only feature.
Yeah, maybe.
We didn't even tell Shane that we were talking about, like, if we release a reduced to clear DVD, just doing a bonus disc of like all of these Maybe.
We should do that, and this should be an extra episode. Like this isn't public.
Because that means that we have to give it time.
we have to what?
We can't let this simmer. This gold.
This is not gold.
Right. On that note, it's been 50 minutes now. We've been going for, believe it or not.
Felt longer.
I know. So I think we've better start.
Shane, will you have us back after Alex said all those silly things about your name and your hat?
I might not be here because Alex will probably sack me by the time he actually gets to hear this back. And the beauty of it is, I get to edit it, so I'll edit it and release it, and then he'll have to sack me.
Yeah, happy birthday, Shane.
So hang on. You're saying the good thing is you have to do work before your inevitable firing. Why is that good?
Because it's good practice, isn't it? And I'm a workaholic, so work's fun for me. So,
would you like to edit this week's episode of the Love Rosie podcast?
Nope.
No. We had a lot of clips.
That's my boy.
It takes a heck of a lot of time. We play like every line we talk about from the film. We play that clip, and
Anyway,
subscribe to the Love Rosie podcast, guys.
So, subscribe. Luke, do you want to do your plugs?
Love Rosie podcast. Subscribe to the Love Rosie podcast. I'm just going to keep saying Love Rosie pod at Love Rosie pod on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Myself and Ellen analyzing Christian Ditter's 2014 romantic comedy Love Rosie, 5 minutes at a time. Each episode we look at 5 minutes of the film. We talk about whether it's good, whether it's bad, stuff that's in it, and have many a tangent. I know that I think more of our listeners have not seen Love Rosie than have seen Love Rosie, so it's an interesting listen, even if you've not seen the film, because we have a lot of tangents. And yeah, it's just hopefully an interesting insight into our lives. Both Ellen and I, and potentially some special guests, are recording with someone next week if all goes to plan. So that'll be out in a couple of weeks. But yeah, so fingers crossed.
Anything else you want to plug?
Email us if you got a crash mat. Luke at lukeallen.co.uk, or Alex, what's your email address?
Let's just keep that.
How do you spell that?
I was going to say the same thing.
Keep that on stum for now. If they've got it, email you.
Or Luke at lukeallen.co.uk. Beware that I sometimes end up in your spam. So if you email me, you may either be emailed back from a Luke Horton account, because Horton's my real surname, guys. It's like true. Yeah. Alan's my middle name. I have discussed that before, but whenever I say it, I feel like I'm leaking something. If you Google me, you can find out pretty easily.
Okay. So,
but yeah,
anything else you want to plug, Luke?
Just Love Rosie podcast again. Okay. Just keep saying the words Love Rosie podcast until it sticks in your head.
Yo, Riced by Daylight. Follow me on Instagram. You should follow Mr. Middle Films, all one word, on Instagram too. That is an account I want to grow up quite high. That's where all of mine and Luke's like reduced to Cleary stuff is going to be skyrocketing on there. It's going to be, that's what we want.
I should give you the login to that.
I don't know. Nah, I'm all right. That's the big boy. That's the big hitter. I'll say it again. Mr. Middle Films, all one word.
Shane, extra work for you. Put it up on screen.
Tell me about the bus thing if anybody's actually had that. So thank you for listening to today's. Wasn't great, but it was an
Shane,
episode.
It's your birthday. Plug your pluggables.
Oh God, I'm just fetching up now. I was hoping that you're going to caught me off guard. Right, so you can find us over at the Shooty Biscuit podcast.co.uk, made by our friends over at Web Orchard. We're also on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can find our content on Podbean, Spotify. I believe you actually get it on Alexa as well. We're on YouTube. We're everywhere. We are everywhere. And if you've got a platform that we're not on, then please tell us so we can get on it. Web Orchard are a great company. If you need a website, Pete is awesome. He's an absolute wizard. Also, we are hosting a 24-hour podcast challenge on the 29th. From the 9 a.m. on the 29th of September to 9 a.m. on the 30th of September, non-stop. It's going to be half. It's going to be 12 hours of Biscuit and then 12 hours of USAC, which is our sister podcast, transatlantic podcast, for Over the Water. And we are looking for sponsors. We are looking for corporate sponsors, donations for any auctions, hourly sponsors. You sponsor a slot within the podcast for £50 donation per hour, and that will all go to the charity Lincoln Davis that we're doing it all for. It's an amazing opportunity. We've got a lot of people on board. We have the creator of National Podcast Day, well and truly seated behind us. He knows, he knows what we're doing, and he's all for it. We have Lincoln Davis, full support of those, and we are working with our main sponsors for the entire event, which is Reach in Shrewsbury. So that's going to be amazing. So if you do want to get involved, if you want to come on for a session, if you want to sponsor it, if you've got anything you would like to donate, which we can auction off for charity, anything at all, really, if you want to be involved in any capacity, then please drop us a message on Facebook, Instagram, drop us an email. You can speak to me and Al direct if you like on our own personal pages.
How much auction for 7 copies of About Time?
I don't know. We can auction them off for you, though, if you want.
I don't know. I don't know. I was literally
anyway,
in my room and I went, can I auction anything? And that was the... Shane, where can they find you directly? Not on a bus, that's for sure.
You can find me directly on Instagram at Shane Hinton Official. And I think I've got Shane Hinton Official on Facebook as well. I've got some pages,
Drop him a belated happy birthday message.
Oh, I think by the time this goes out, it'll be way past my birthday anyway. So,
oh yeah.
Anyway, guys, is there anything else you want to mention or anything before we?
Yeah, thank you for having us on. It's a pleasure. Even
thank you for not kicking us.
That's all right.
I think that's the big one. Having us on in the first place is fine. Not taking us off. That's the real.
I think my missus wants to go to the pub, and she's messaging me saying how long you're going to be. So
cut it.
Otherwise, I'm going to be in the doghouse.
You could end this really abruptly in the middle of my sentence.
Right.
Bye.
Hold on. No, don't. Right.
I could end this really abruptly in the middle of my sentence.